I want to be a multi-millionaire, I want to be a billionaire by 30 years old. What's your take on that? No, what's your, kasi dami na burnout eh. I'm getting so many messages that nag-burnout sila, nagkatrabaho na sila 16 hours a day, tapos hirap na sila. Yun, parang they're seeing the grind but they're not getting the result.
But if your goal is to become a millionaire by 30, become a millionaire by 20, then you have a purpose, then you reverse engineer. Okay, if I want to be a millionaire by 30, how much money should I be saving every month from this day onwards? How am I going to make that much value for the world that they're going to be willing to pay me this much? And value starts from here, what you know.
You have to make something that will work for you based on your timeline, based on the amount of time that you can also spend. Then you have to also be realistic. Can you be a trader or can you be an investor? Please, there's nothing wrong being an investor. An investor, Warren Buffett is an investor also. An investor buys a company. Hindi dahil naipit siya. They buy it because they see that the fundamentals are good and they're buying it because it's also cheap. So you are an investor not because naipit kayo. You are an investor because that's what you have set aside in the start for you to be able to come in as well.
10 million, 1 million, I think it doesn't matter. If you're happy with what you're making, you're happy with the people who you give a livelihood to. I mean, that's one of the things that give me a lot of fulfillment in life.
In this video, we answered all of the questions that you guys have sent out via social media. This is a recorded version of the Facebook Live that I've created with Sean C over the past few days. So I hope you learned a lot from the questions that have been sent out. But basically, we're going to talk about tech. We're going to talk about innovation. We're going to talk about disruption. We're going to talk about how can you be an entrepreneur? How can you make money wherever you are? So check this video out. Hi everyone, this is Marvin Germo. We're having this video to invite you to make money, grow money. It's an online course where me and Sean C will teach you the basics of business and investing. So if you want to start your own business but don't know how, that's what our online course is for. If you want to learn more about investing but don't know how also, that's what the online course is for as well. We have 20 modules, 20 videos in this entire course via subscription model. So join us, the link is down below so you get to learn more about it. Let's start. Number one, Sean, while we're waiting for people to ask questions, what's your take on blockchain?
Blockchain I think is a really good and interesting technology. It has been created by the brightest minds in our world today, and it is a technology for accountability.
Okay.
Where if there is a trigger on one end, everyone's ledgers will be updated. That's essentially what blockchain is. It's a system of accountability.
Okay.
It can be used for different purposes. That's why we have different cryptocurrencies now that are based on the blockchain. Other than that, I think it could be used for other purposes in all different kinds of sectors and industries. It's just that I think pasimula pa lang. I think it's just a budding technology. Right now, it is used for cryptocurrencies and for fintech for the most part.
You think Bitcoin will be relevant still? Or forecast, guess, babalikan natin itong video na to in the future. Do you think it's gonna work out?
I think it already has.
Okay. So it will displace a lot of stuff?
Yeah, but not as a trading currency, because right now it's being traded. It's being used for great black markets.
Okay.
But in my opinion, Bitcoin is a good case study, use case for blockchain.
Okay. Bitcoin, how about, what's your take on automation?
Automation of?
Everything.
AI?
No, automation. Just basically automation. Things get, for example, instead of hiring people in McDonald's, you now have this where everything, all of your orders get done there. So yun.
I think automation is good in the sense that it would challenge a lot more people to become better, to become more than just the everyday. How do you say it? Parang clerical labor. It will challenge people who are in the clerical jobs today to rethink about what they're doing and to level up.
Okay. What about artificial intelligence? And sakto.
pogi daw ni Paul Market Girl.
Hindi yun yung tanong ni Joseph. Yung tanong ni Joseph kay Mon na AI naman. Oh, what's your take on AI?
My take on AI.
By the way, send in your questions. We'll probably take 10 more minutes of this Q&A session. No? So just comment them below and we'll try to answer as much as possible. Shansi's specialty basically is
Digital marketing.
Wala siyang specialty. Wala ako, sorry. His specialty basically is digital marketing, SEO, anything that has to do also with digital platforms. You can ask it, entrepreneurship, etc. Handling a company at 22 years old as well. So that's Shansi's specialty.
Shout out to Randall Johnson who is tuned in.
Okay, so AI. What's your take on AI?
I think AI is still in its infant stages, fetus stages, to be honest. There is a lot more that can be done with AI.
Okay.
It is such a huge technology. It's like building another world that can live, breathe, and have an ecosystem on its own. So if you're really going to say na, you know what, when are we going to really experience the full potential of AI? It's maybe a decade or some decades from now before we experience its full potential. Lana, we don't have 5G yet in a lot of places. The internet connection is way off. In order for us to see AI as it is portrayed, at least in the Marvel movies, Tony Stark's Jarvis, in order for us to experience AI that way, we all have to first have fast internet connection. That is one of the baselines. And
I'm not sure if you saw this. There's a video already that teacher, robot, AI, tapos nagtuturo siya ng lesson. Have you seen that?
Talaga?
Oh, there's also a hotel in China, AI, robot.
Yung front desk.
Oh, galing. Interesting. Pero yun nga, China has fast internet.
Yeah.
Oh, so I think for the Philippine context, I think there will be some applications. It will disrupt the call center industry also. And yun, the key thing that I want people to get here is this: AI is coming. You need to retool yourself. You need to do something that will create so much value, because if you create so much value, no robot can replace you. If you're just doing something that's ordinary, you can easily get displaced as well. May question about AI for online stocks. A robot can trade stocks already. What's your take on that?
I think they could. But what I think they could not do is to speculate like a human being. I mean, if you've read the book Blink by Malcolm Gladwell.
Malcolm Gladwell, Malcolm, good friends.
Right? You're good friends with him.
Yeah, in my dreams. But
So, kala ko totoo eh. Akala ko, joke lang. So if you've read the book Blink, we make decisions that we don't understand.
Okay.
In terms of we can't break it down logically why we made that decision. And sometimes speculation comes from there. Eh.
Okay.
Why are you going to turn left when there is a right turn? You don't know. Sometimes you can't say, but something inside of you has noticed your brain, we're only utilizing 10% of it. 90% of it we don't use, and that's the subconscious. So the subconscious is telling you, there is a reason why I'm thinking that, but I cannot explain it to you logically, I can't break it down for you. And machines and AI cannot speculate the way human beings do.
So that's advantage. So we talked about Bitcoin, blockchain, automation, AI. How about virtual reality?
Virtual reality is already here, but if you're talking about
applications,
also,
where will it make the most disruption?
I think right now virtual reality is being disrupted again by augmented reality.
Okay.
AR has more applications, actually a lot more applications than VR, and there is a limitation in terms of how much strain our eyes can take when you're in a VR technology kasi when it's strapped on you. This is something that I think they need to address in order for VR to be adopted on a mass scale. Hanggang ngayon, early adopters din sila eh. Kakaunti lang yung tao na committed sa VR. But it has been there for a while now actually. Oculus has been there for a while now, but the adoption is slow.
So AR will be more relevant, no?
Yes, that's what I think. It will be more relevant. It has a lot of applications. Limitless applications actually, and you can use your mobile phone na. May AR experience na rin sa mobile phone.
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go. Yeah.
Or you tatapat mo yung lalabas yung prices. So there's so many applications on it that you can sync it to whatever device that you have. Driverless cars.
Malayo pa tayo doon.
Drones.
Drones are here, but if you're talking about drones that are performing like Amazon's drones, wherein they ship via drones from their warehouse to your house. Malabo dito yun kasi nanakawin yung drone.
Okay. Tsaka walang Amazon dito.
Walang Amazon dito kasi nga they cannot,
so
they'd rather not deal, I think, with the corruption.
Or not just that, I think nahirapan sila because we're an archipelago. So it's harder for them to logistically to be able to ship also that way. I think that's one of the reasons why they're not in the Philippines as compared to other countries as well. May question kanina. By the way, Randall nagpo-promote Icon 2019 Davao, November 30. Yes, guys, please join us if you're from Davao.
I'm not going to be there, but you have to be there.
So, Icon 2019 Davao. Anyways, there was a question, how do you make money if you don't have money? Pero may sinabi rin siya na wala kang ginagawa. Is it possible?
No.
Okay.
You have to make value. Unless you're Marvin Guillermo who makes millions in his sleep.
No.
You have to... Live nga pala to.
Oh, no.
Yeah, unless... Sorry, bro.
Okay lang, continue.
So, if you're not producing any value, there is no way you can make money unless you're born with a platinum spoon.
Okay.
That's the only time you make money, even if you're not producing any value, which is also a sad reality of our world today. So you have to either make value or you have to have capital and invest.
Oh, there's another question from Ronald Canono. Ito, I'll let you answer this kasi you're not really a stock market person who watches it every day. You're a business person who runs an actual business. So tanong niya, how do you monitor your stocks if you do not watch it every day and you are not a trader? So what a good way to answer it by someone who runs a business, who's busy, has 4 businesses. How can you actually still invest in the markets kahit busy ka?
Actually, right now I park my investment in the stock market on blue chips. Kaso down.
Okay.
Medyo masakit yung down ko ngayon. And then I have 2 stock brokers who, I'm just letting them run their own show. And I'm thinking about, and I shared this with you kanina, signing up for copy trading. A copy trading platform, which I need advice for, by the way, because I have no idea how it goes, what you do there. So I'm going to be asking Marvin for advice so that I can just invest there and someone else will be trading and my platform will be copying the trades. That's it.
So basically, to do it is what works for Chauncey right now. I'm just analyzing what he said. What works for him right now is his being an investor. So to answer that question, you have to make something that will work for you based on your timeline, based on the amount of time that you can also spend. Then you have to also be realistic. Can you be a trader or can you be an investor? Please, there's nothing wrong being an investor. An investor, Warren Buffett is an investor also. An investor buys a company. Hindi dahil naipit siya. They buy it because they see that the fundamentals are good and they're buying it because it's also cheap. So you are an investor not because naipit kayo. You are an investor because that's what you have set aside in the start for you to be able to come in as well. So ganun lang siya. That's a basic iteration of it. What else? Do you think madi-displace yung call centers natin because of automation? I want to go back to the future of how we see things.
Some call centers would be, I think, those who are just FAQ types, frequently asked questions types.
Okay.
They would be replaced, or a huge part of their workforce would be replaced because AI, magaling sila sa repeated clerical work. And unless the AI does real-time machine learning and execution, meaning kung ano yung mga bagong tanong na hindi niya kaya sagutin, natututunan niya kagad, tapos nasasagot niya kagad in almost real-time fashion as a human being. Unless the AI is capable of that, which it's not right now, by the way, then that's the only time that the BPO industry would feel and suffer from tyranny of AI. Unless that time comes, I think okay pa yung BPO industry natin.
May nagsabi possibly robot chat daw.
I am not familiar with RoboChat.
Pero what's your take on yung mga automated chatbots also, that instead of calling a call center, there's a chatbot that's automated na rin siya that they can have answers based on possible keywords that are typed?
There is a stop point to all RoboChats, to all of those chatbots. And I know kasi we have one.
Okay.
And
do you buy that, or how does it normally go? If I have a Facebook page and I want to get a chatbot, how does it normally go?
If you either code your own technology or you pay every month to someone who has the tech and you're just going to implement it in your Facebook page.
Okay.
You're just going to tie it up and integrate it. So what you do is just put in the keywords that you want for the replies to trigger the replies. So pag itong keyword na to, it will trigger this reply. Pag ito and itong keyword na to, it will trigger this reply. So ang gagawin mo lang is you're gonna get the frequently asked questions, you're gonna put the keywords inside, and if these keywords are targeted, these are going to be the answers. And if there ever comes a time where your chatbot cannot answer the question, that's called the stop point, and then a human being takes over.
May tanong si Veronica Pamintuan. How can you become an SEO expert? Is it you daw who's the SEO expert, or you just hire other SEO experts that work for you? Good question.
Leadership is the same. If you are a great leader and you don't have any successors, you're going to be considered a failure. There is no success without a successor, sabi ni John Maxwell. And in SEO, in any company that is knowledge-based, whether you're an accountant, whether you're an SEO, whether you're a lawyer, if you don't have a protege that you're training to succeed you in your business, in your law firm, in your accounting firm, in your programming firm, then it's going to someday fail, because I'm gonna get older. And if I don't have a successor, by the time I'm 50 or 60, or 100 maybe, sana mabot ng 100 na sharp pa rin yung tao.
Okay.
No? Then it's going to just be crippled and crumble down and fail. So what you do is you start training people who you trust.
Pero sa start, do you need to be the expert, or you just hire people who are experts?
If you have someone that you completely trust, that you know is not going to betray you, and in my case, that's my brother, Kevin C. Shout out to him, he's tuned in right now.
Ay, mayaman yun, sobra. Sobrang yaman ng pamilya C. Guys, sobrang yaman nila, sobrang yaman.
Guys, I'm with the man, the master, the millionaire, Mr. Marvin Guerrero.
Anyways, do you trust the other two people in this room? Batay!
Trust is given.
Okay,
Trust is given, and then it's earned. So at the get-go, if I hire anyone in my team, I give them my trust.
Good answer. Good answer. Ito, what's your take on leverage? Sabi ni Dan Dimaranan.
Leverage in terms of debt?
Leverage in terms of leveraging other people's talent, skills, mindsets, and time.
Definitely a necessity in life and business. If you are a businessman, you only have 24 hours a day. 8 hours is supposedly for sleeping, and within your 16 hours, you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you have CR time. So you have more or less, again, 8 to 9 hours of work for your day job. If you only have 8 to 9 hours of your day job, then you only get to work a limited amount of time, produce a limited amount of work in this world. But if you are able to hire and leverage other people's time, efforts, sacrifice, and they, since you hired them, buy into your vision, then you are moving in one direction in hyper speed. Kasi now it's not just 8 to 9 hours because you're just one person. I have 50 people in SEO Hacker working in-house, full-time. 50 people times 9, that's 450 hours every day that we are working.
Patay ka sa wife mo, ang dami nagko-comment, I want Shansi. Patay, pag nabasa to, guys, taken na siya, ang dami nag-ano. Pero puro lalaki, I want Shansi. Patay ka. What's your take on millennials that are rushing it naman? They want to be a multi-millionaire quickly. Again, nothing wrong about being a multi-millionaire. There's nothing wrong about that. But what's your take on that? That I want to be a founder of this 100 million. I want to be a multi-millionaire. I want to be a billionaire by 30 years old. What's your take on that? No. What's your, kasi dami na burnout eh. I'm getting so many messages that nababurnout sila, nagkatrabaho na sila 16 hours a day, tapos hirap na sila. Yun, parang they're seeing the grind but they're not getting the results.
Open your mind. First thing you do, read a good book or read good books.
So should they stop, or should they continue to work kahit napapagod na sila, or should they just take a break and not parang just take it easy na muna?
You know what? There's a problem. There's a problem with people who are working the daily grind just because they need money, just because they need a 15 to 30 pay, just because they need to feed themselves, just because they need to feed their parents, just because they need to feed their family. There is a problem with that because there's no endpoint. You have no goals. Your goal is to just have a job, so that's what you'll get. But if your goal is to become a millionaire, by 30, become a millionaire by 28. Then you have a purpose, then you reverse engineer. Okay, if I want to be a millionaire by 30, how much money should I be saving every month from this day onwards? How am I going to make that much value for the world that they're going to be willing to pay me this much? And value starts from here. What you know. If you're not reading books about leadership, management, and entrepreneurship, or listening to podcasts about leadership, management, and entrepreneurship, you're really not going to grow into that route. You're not going to become a good entrepreneur, a good leader, or a good manager. 3 traits of everyone who is successful.
What are they? Go! O, sinabi mo na. Kala ko you're gonna open up into something. Kala ko you're gonna open up into something again, no? So,
leadership, entrepreneurship, management. If you don't grow into these 3 things that every successful person is good at, you don't read books about it, you don't listen to podcasts about it, you don't have a mentor that will mentor you to grow more into it, then you are not going to have more value. The chances of you hitting that million mark is very, very slim.
Pero should people target a million, or isn't a million parang with inflation and how things are getting, shouldn't they make their target higher? By the way, for those who are tuned in just now, and you're seeing people nagko-comment, I want Shansi. That's for a free date with Shansi. Comment, I want Shansi. If you want to meet him one by one, free date at any ramen place that you want. And he will send you the link on how it happens. Should they target more than a million, or should they be content with a million?
I think you should target whatever it is that God has put in your heart to earn or to make. So, there are people who are called into ministry. They know, we know that they're probably not going to be making a lot of money there, but God has called them there. So that's going to be their purpose. That's going to be where they're happy. And I know we talked about happiness earlier, that Marvin is a multi-millionaire.
No, paulit mo na kasi sabi. Grabe! Guys, YouTuber nga lang ako.
He doesn't see
no,
to be happy. He has 90 million.
No, grabe. Grabe to, guys. Grabe siya. Bang klase.
So, 10 million, 1 million, I think it doesn't matter. If you're happy with what you're making, you're happy with the people who you give a livelihood to. I mean, that's one of the things that give me a lot of fulfillment in life. I have 50 plus people, I give a livelihood to them. They are happy with where they are working. We have a fantastic workplace. Yes, there are problems. Yes, there are people who disagree. Yes, we have healthy conflicts in the office, but generally it is a place where we love to come back to every day, see each other, do the work that we do. That is fulfilling to us. Whether I make a lot of money from there or not, it is still fulfilling to me.
Galing. That's why the rich get richer. Because please know this, the goal and the technique is not to pursue money. Because if you pursue money, it becomes pointless, it becomes a dead end. But your goal is to pursue what you're called to do, but in the same way, pursue where you're good at, pursue your skills, because no one will pay you if you're not good at it. No one will pay you also if you do not have the skill set for it. Do not follow just something that you feel like doing. You have to find out also if you're good at it, because if you're not good at it, people will not pay you for it as well. So final words for people, I'll segment this. Number 1, for people na it's 13-month pay season, it's bonus season, what are your tips for them? That's 1. And number 2, for people who want to pursue their dreams. Go.
Number 1, 13th month pay. If you're not going to make more money from your 13th month pay, then if you're not going to make money as an investment or as an asset for it, meaning you're not going to invest it in stock market, keep it, save it, accumulate it until you have a really good idea to start up and capitalize your own business. I started SEO Hacker with a capital of 1,300 pesos. Believe it or not, it is true. That is the only capital I had. Of course, I had my laptop, my parents gave it to me, I had internet at home, my parents provided for it. I started this business when I was 20 years old. Pag-graduate pa lang ako ng college. It's not a lot, and I'm sure your 13th month pay is a lot more than 1,300 pesos. That's a lot more than what I had. So, business is not all about having capital. You can start a service-based business like I did, and it's SEO Hacker is still a service-based business up to today, and we are generating a good amount of revenue, serving a lot of people, serving a lot of companies here and abroad. If you are not going to invest it as an asset, save it up. That is my advice for you. The more you save today, the more leverage and advantage you have when you finally get that good idea, or when you finally get that opportunity for a joint venture, a partnership, or an investment. The second question?
Nakalimutan ko na nga. Nadala ako ng emotion, guys. Ang galing. Sobrang profound. The next question is this. For people who want to pursue their dreams.
What's my advice?
Yeah.
Number one, pray about it. When, we dream every day. Dreams by nature are fuzzy, blurry, and formless. When you wake up, you don't even remember a huge part of your dream. I'm talking about dreams in a literal sense, but when you daydream or when you dream about having your first million, having this business, having that opportunity, having that dream job, it's still fuzzy, it's still blurry, it's still formless in the sense that you don't know the steps you need to take to get there. But if you keep on dreaming and praying about it, then it gets clearer. It blows the fuzz away. It blows the formlessness away. It blows the blur away. It gets clearer to you, and then it turns into a vision. When you have that vision in your life, keep on casting it to yourself. Keep on sharing it with other people, because that's going to keep filling you up. When you're filled with your vision, then it's easier for you to execute.
Galing. So that's it.
Yeah.
So guys, as you all know, ngayon lang ako nag-t-shirt kasi pagkasama mo, naka-jacket, sa t-shirt mo, papa-t-shirt ka rin. You follow the herd, you follow the one that has the money. So,
t-shirt, anyways, promote your own SEO.
By the way, he's the CEO of SEO Hacker. If you need services on how you can be searched online, he's the guy. He's the top SEO person in the Philippines. Wala na akong kilala mas magaling sa kanya kasi siya lang yung kilala ko. but seriously, he's really good at what he does, and that's it. He'll send the link sa lahat ng comment. Bahala ka na how you want to send the mechanics for all of those who
DM ko sila. I want
commented. Patay. So anyways, I guess that's it for now. We feature people na hindi lang stocks. So kasi for me, the reason why I create this video so that you also know na the stock market is not the only way for you to reach your goals of financial freedom. There's so many ways for it. But if there's one fabric to it, you need to know how to save. You need to know how to handle your money, because if you don't know how to handle your money, kahit gaano kalaki yung dadating sa'yo, mauubos at mauubos at mauubos at mauubos yun. And it's time that we create more entrepreneurs in the Philippines. It's time that we create more people who are doing well in their early 20s, because that's why yung interesting ngayon is a lot of older people are saying masyado kayong mabilis eh, kasi in their time it never happened eh. But what if people in their 20s and 30s start doing things that people have never done before, that it becomes the norm? Yun yung interesting doon, when you see a lot of people who start businesses that are unheard of, that are not done, and it's time that we see more Filipinos start to be financially free.
Yep.
So, that's it for now. Comment I want siya, see if gusto niyo siyang makadate for dinner. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless.